Quincy crew. The winner of this, a very high likelihood of going to the major. We'll just say it's going to happen, even though it's technically possible that that's not the case. Let's just pretend together, Cinderin. How are you doing?
I love pretending. It's actually my favorite thing to do. So I'm down for some pretending with you. We can do that.
I mean, your whole life is pretending to be human, so I can understand that.
Yeah. It's worked so far. You're the first one to really see through it, but don't tell anyone.
I know. Okay, I'll try my best. So what do you think of these lineups?
Right. So I was going to say these two lineups have like really different, in my opinion, really different peaks, and that makes for... I think this game is going to be different from the previous two in that I would say the last two games, both teams kind of, in theory, in isolation with their lineups, want to fight around the same time. Just that one of the lineups countered the other one pretty heavily in each respective game. In this game, Quincy has like a very, very strong mid-game playing around Tide, Luna, and Kunkka. Whereas Undying's late game is super fearsome with this Doom and TA, both of them with Bloodlust going to town. And I think the name of the game for Undying is get to your BKBs. If you look at Quincy's lineup, that's when they're really going to struggle to get the damage done. They have Kunkka and Luna, which are two spread damage cores, don't have significant single target carry damage. And that's a problem when you start facing TAs and Dooms with BKBs that can just run at you, that you're going to have to yield. But getting out of Mars Arena can prove to be tricky. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I'm liking Quincy. If they get off to a good start in their lanes, I think they can snowball. If the game is even, they really need to execute at that 15 to 25 minute mark, in my opinion, or things can get scary later on.
And this is where we get to see as Saberlight's taking heavy damage in the top lane.
Wow.
Bonlo gets another right click, but looks like he's going to live through it. This is where we're going to see the Doom core back into the fray, Cinder, in mid lane Doom. So the net worths will be a little bit lopsided. Undying might have the net worth lead at some point and still be behind. It's always fun to speculate as to whether that's the case or not. You seem to change your mind on that every single day.
Yeah, we have long discussions about this every day.
I called you up just last night asking about this potential matchup.
You sent me a screenshot. You were like, in this situation, Doom is 500 gold ahead, but is his team behind?
That does not sound like... That sounds like you're imitating yourself, Cinder.
I'm glad you're laughing at your own joke. That's
I know. I had to. Nobody else was going to.
I mean, I definitely wasn't going to, that's for sure.
So what do you think of this mid matchup, though? It's melee versus melee, which is my dream. Doom versus the old Kunkka.
I think Kunkka is favored in this lane, except when Scorched Earth is running, at which point, obviously, you have to yield for like it. So it's like... It kind of comes and goes in waves. As Kunkka, you yield whenever Scorched Earth is running, and when it isn't, you're playing aggressively. A lot of it also comes down to what creep Doom ends up getting. He's currently sitting on the Frost attack from the Ghost, allowing him to trade more effectively with the Kunkka, of course, because he gets that strong move and attack speed slow. This is not something I'm 100% positive about, by the way, so I'm ready to learn about this matchup. It's not one I've seen a lot. Perhaps it is just flat out Doom favored, even. But I would imagine Oh, actually, Quinn almost dying here.
Radiant's middle tower is
Ral got him very dangerous.
Still got a full bottle, though, so...
Yeah, it's going to refill.
He's going to be just fine. No. Bottom lane, I believe that a courier is about to get sniped. Never mind, Milan changed his mind. Not interested in that at all. Has the level of Geminate attack to go along with Shikuchi. So this bot lane is Tide Weaver, which we've seen against TA Ogre, which is not the most usual.
TA Ogre should do great in this.
The better matchup here?
Ogre is very tanky against this Tide Weaver lane. He has so much armor that he can offset part of the problem with both Gush and the Swarm for quite a while in this lane. And TA with the Refraction will block Anchor Smash instances and block Shikuchi damage. So they're doing some good damage to Dubu here, though. He will live. He has 10 sticks, as well as a Fairy Fire if he needs it. And most importantly, TA just has a damage advantage against Tide, right? So you're going to see denies, or well, it's not that effective on denies, but he's going to at least get his own farm and some denies in between. Whereas Tide will struggle a lot more to get those denies against TA's superior damage. You can see TA currently sitting 22-6 against Tide's 12-1. So Tomato very
There's the courier kill. It actually had a Tango, Sentry, and Mango on it. So actually pretty valuable courier for this stage of the game.
Yep.
As mid lane, Bryle sitting on 20-3 versus Quinn's 22-2. Of course, Bryle can just continue to devour these creeps. I mean, what kind of creep are you looking for this early? He went for the heal / mana regen.
Yeah, that one's actually
Guy.
pretty damn good in this lane. When you're playing against Kunkka, it allows you to just trade nonstop and just always stay healthy.
Well, top lane. Oh, okay. Well, first brother. Apparently, Kezu got in the other lane, but we're going to be watching top for now. Kezu, or Yawar, I should say, was getting a little bit low. Got speared into the trees, but is fine. So bottom lane, yeah, Ogre still had his 6 charge on his wand. Interesting that he died there. Was not expecting that.
Buys a... Oh, never mind. Uh-oh. Yawar
Top
again.
lane again. Oh
time
my
it's for
goodness,
real.
these combos. That was the Snapfire cookie into the spear on the other side of the tree. So
They
just
are
getting completely out of position.
crushing top right now.
Yeah.
And that's the price you pay for putting Nyx 5 together with Luna. It is just not a very strong lane. Nyx isn't tanky enough to truly frontline for the Luna, and he doesn't offer enough offensive damage that you can truly play aggressively. So he's kind of like this awkward in-between hero that doesn't really fit for what they need up here. Ideally, you want something really defensive so you can stay alive and just farm against Mars Snap, or you want something strong enough that you can go for at least a trade in the kills, and they just kind of have neither. And Undying are exploiting that to the limit here. Might find Moon Meander as he's trying to pull the wave here, but I think with that cookie, he should be getting out just fine. And Saberlight coming over.
Saberlight there for a little cover as well, although he is, I mean, both him and Moonman are completely out of mana. 1 mango to his name right now.
A Soul Ring arriving from Mars now, so.
But real quickly, click on Bryle on Doom. Did you know that that was the icon for Mana Aura? If you had asked me, I would have said it was a blank icon because that's all I remember it being.
I remember it getting this icon with like a blue hue around, but I didn't remember the troll looking like this. It's
got to be the weirdest creep. It gives you a terrible heal that you have to constantly spam and mana regen so you can do that terrible heal. Top lane, Moon Meander, taking heavy damage again, but Saberlight is there to the rescue yet again. God's Rebuke into the spear. Onlo looks like he'll live, but Moon Meander will not, so they actually extended a little bit too far.
That's something for Yawar. He really needed that. He's still way behind the TA by over 500 gold, minute 6. Bottom lane.
Dubu again. Look at this minus armor come to fruition. That Swarm plus the Gush. Has to be careful. And we're talking about one of the highest armored heroes in the entire, if not the highest armored hero in the game.
I wonder why Dubu is maxing Ignite here. He's playing against Tide, who can Kraken it off. And he's playing against Weaver, who can avoid it entirely. I actually would have expected Dubu to maybe max out Bloodlust in this lane. Just let Tomato right-click and farm all he can and just be a wall with the stun. But maybe he is trading enough into the Weaver with Ignite to make it worth it. I don't know. Carapace? Bonlo should be fine here. He has the stun as well if he needs.
Spear's not going to be able to reach. And he does have Arena to work with as well. And Quinn has made his rotation as well, but looks like he's just going to be content farming the jungle with Milan taking the XP mid. And Bryle will be going for, as no surprise, the Hand of Midas Doom. Pretty much the standard core build.
Yep.
A Saberlight on the wrong side of the tier 1 tower.
Has Arena.
Gonna get X Quinn, has the boat coming out, gets stun locked though, but it still will go off in time as Saberlight looks to be down and out as Yawar credit for yet another kill, so much needed for him like you said. I mean, looking at his net worth, still top 4, so not the worst.
Right. But this is still shaping up the way Undying are hoping for with their draft, right? Both Doom and TA are essentially free farming. Like you said, Doom's going Midas, so that one's going to fly out very soon. He has the gold for it. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. He's going to buy it now. If Quincy don't... I have this feeling that if Quincy don't manage to put serious pressure within the next 10 minutes, the BKBs are going to overwhelm them. So they're really a bit on a timer. Ponlo getting killed here for scouting. Apply to Ignite.
Yep. That was a very expensive shockwave.
It's never nice playing like that. Playing on a timer, unless it's a timer where you can very confidently say that you're stronger, right? Like, you know, if you pick a push lineup that you're on a timer, but you also know that, okay, if we executed like A, B, and C, there will be this moment of opportunity or even 2 moments where we are way stronger and where if we just don't mess up, we're going to win this game. This doesn't feel that way. I wouldn't say that their lineup is that much stronger when it peaks, that it's a no-brainer and that it's easy to identify and easy to accomplish because of the ramp-up speed that Undying have. Quincy aren't going to be ready to do what their lineup wants to do for at least another 10 minutes, but they at least need to find skirmishes and kills to transition. And most importantly, in my opinion, get bottom tower. Like, they they have to corner Undying at least a little bit on the map so that they don't just sit and farm all 3 lanes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Doom TPing down to
Bottom
Tomato.
lane, we
They
have
could
the
just
TP
Doom
with
Kezu
the
here.
trap being used, and that's the first Doom of the game onto Kezu. But here comes Quinn with the boat. That's going to be a lot of nice damage mitigation. It's going to connect onto 2 heroes. Is that enough for Kezu to get away? Another trap. Will be proc, but
Doom's ending.
wasn't full duration. But Dubu gets cookied into the Fire Blast. Kezu is living for now. Doesn't want to expend the Ravage. It's actually pretty close to living, though.
Yeah, good call not ravaging there. That would have just been a total waste. Even if he lives, it's bad. They need it to make their first team move bottom and get that tower. But for now, seem relatively unable to. Milan has been quietly sitting mid, like you pointed out, for quite a while. He is up to level 6. The Swarm could be the X factor in this game if Weaver gets high enough level to really bring the damage to the next level that they need, especially in the absence of Yawar, who will be farming for a large portion of this next 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, Milan is working on drums. I would assume that Ags is the second item, right? Is that just like a no-brainer item for any support Weaver? Like, are there situations where you don't want Ags?
It's kind of hard to use in this game. It's very good against Doom, but it's not that good against TA Mars. They have so insane burst damage that you might not be in position and range to react in time. Sometimes, I would say the games that I don't like Ags is if the enemy team has either crazy single target burst or if they have a really, really strong counter lineup to you in particular, where they're just going to isolate and find you a lot with like Storm or, you know, that type of hero, Spectre, Zeus. I don't know if those are good examples, but you get the overall idea. In this game, he's not really against those counters, so I could see the Ags working. But it is also a really, really big investment, and you could buy some other smaller items to align with your timing better. They're going to go on Mars here.
Yep, Swarm with the Vendetta and the Impale to follow. Not sure if they have enough damage to finish him off, though. And Dubu's here for support as well.
But yeah, if you think about it, let's say Weaver wants to get Ags here. I think he's going to get it after the enemy team has hit their entire timing, right? So maybe he's better off getting something faster.
Bottom lane, we're going to see the Arena. Heavy damage on the Kezu. He's going to get off the Ravage just in time. It's going to cost him his life, but it's a double kill for Quinn. 2 for 1 special. And I believe that
Radiant's top tower is
Kezu
under
got
attack.
the experience, if I'm not mistaken.
Here comes Bryle. He has Doom.
Away.
Good
yeah,
start.
He can't get it off thanks to that Impale, though.
Fortunately for Bryle, he actually got stunned before the cast. He was so close to finishing off the Doom cast. If the stun comes out after that, it's way worse. Then that would have been a cooldown, but... Well, at the very least for Quincy, they keep Quinn alive.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He is farming really well. He's basically neck and neck with a Doom that has Midas and had a good start, right? So Quinn's farm is definitely there.
Oh, but he found a Centaur creep, Cinder, and you know that Ryle's going to want to eat this delicious-looking creep. Oh, wait. He forgot to toggle.
He did not toggle.
I mean, there's no way he doesn't want it, right?
I would say he should want that over a Satyr, yeah.
Although he doesn't have Blink, and he's going for BKB first because his Mars.
Nice smoke break from Milan there.
XD.
Yep, the ultimate smoke breaker.
Did you hear the voice line that time?
Yeah, it's a little low effort, which
That's the exact
you could look at as a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he could have made it crazy and it still would have been
Quinn
good.
mid,
Lumiana's going to get X'd into the boat, and he is going to get absolutely decimated. Dubu, in the meantime, being chased by Ponlo, still in Vendetta form, but not going to break out.
Quincy are stabilizing pretty well here. They've set up an Ancient stack for Yawar. Quinn just found that kill mid. He's level 12. The bottom tower is about to fall. They got the double kill down there. They're doing a lot of things right now, which, you know, this is how you want to play against the Doom TA lineup. Go and punish them when you can. Get something out of the map while still protecting your Luna CS. And considering how far behind she was when we talked about it like 5 or 6 minutes ago, basically caught up now. Same net worth as TA. Gonna go and get this bottom tower as well, and Quinn will, or well, entirety of Quincy crew rather, will still be defending mid. Milan and Quinn should probably be able to do it just as the two of them. So really like what we're seeing from them right now. Oh, Moon Meander's in trouble again. Oh, Ponlo hesitated there. Fake cast it once, and then he was out of range. Oh, that's a Doom bottom.
All right,
Yawar
there's
went too
always
far.
a next time. Doom applied to Yawar, and there's not going to be any save even remotely close, so he will drop.
That's why he kept the shockwave.
I mean, he was dead.
so that he
anyway,
could
let's be
spend 100 mana on showing off.
That always bothered me with that skill, is that it's just so ridiculously mana intensive, you know?
Imagine if
100
it
mana
wasn't.
for
It's
Doom.
160 damage, man. It's really good.
Whatever, Cinder. And Saberlight shows off that Blink Dagger. Gets off the nice stun lock with the spear into the cookie. Quinn completely surrounded. And the arena just to ensure that they find the kill. Whip, okay. They're gonna Snapfire ult as well. Weaver, gets off the time lapse just in time, and Shikuchi to follow. But Rebuke with the blink from Saberlight. Undying clicking on all
roche?
cylinders.
They're gonna go mid tier 1. I wonder if they could have roached here. It's a TA with no Deso. I guess. Is the Deso coming? He should have it coming, right? It's a safe lane TA with a lot of farm.
I see one Mithril Hammer.
Yeah, it's flying. Yeah, it's flying out.
Yeah,
So,
it's
okay.
coming.
I think if she had the Deso on her right then when they got those kills, they would have gone Roche with Snapfire, Medallion, and Bloodlust. But they're gonna go mid tier 1. Also a great pickup here. Do they even go for it now? They can force the rotation
Ravage,
at least if they wanted to. So
maybe.
the thing about TA in the pit against this dire lineup is you don't need to hard commit as a team. You can send Mars into tank with his front with Bulwark, and then TA with Bloodlust and Snapfire can just go for it. And you just place your heroes so that you don't risk an insanely big team fight breaking out. And if you do see the enemy team moving over, you have the opportunity to reset, reposition, try to get a flank if you want when you have your spells. But I guess they're going to wait for, Arena and Doom. And then I think it's Roche time for them. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing them forcing it. Doom has BKB. From my perspective, they're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, he's looking virtually unkillable. Doesn't have Doom for another 20 seconds, so might want to wait for that, but we'll see.
I guess they can wait for his dagger and optional TA BKB before the Roche. Then it is very strong indeed. But all right, Bryle's gonna
Quinn
walk.
actually uses his boat without the X setup just to
Protect himself.
make sure that nobody pursues. Relatively low cooldown for an ult, but that means they're going to be without it for the next minute regardless. X trying to bait out this BKB from Bryle. He's going to get Cookie to safety, then gets off the Doom onto Quinn. They're going to clean up the Nyx Assassin as well. Trying to go for the deny potentially, Kezu.
Yeah,
I guess.
it was.
Good effort though. And now
This
they
is
can go
Roche.
to the Roche pit.
Everything's just coming together for Undying now with what they wanted. And yeah, this Roche is uncontestable unless you buy back Kunkka. Gonna
And
force
Milan
that.
already forced to use his time lapse into the jungle here. And yeah, this should be a freebie. Trying to get rid of the sentry so he could potentially try to steal, but very unlikely. Tomato will get the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Onlo
under attack.
was spotted out temporarily. All right, Senator, this is the time of the game where I ask you, 3K net worth lead with a Doom core. What does that mean?
I feel like they're pretty far ahead, to be honest. And it's not really only because of the Doom. It's because, or rather, it's not really because of the net worth only. It's just that they're getting the item timings that they need. I would also consider them ahead with a 0K gold lead, as long as they had, the key items that you're looking for. Does that make any sense? Would Doom have those items without a 3K lead? But the other team could have more gold, and I would still consider Radiant ahead. That would make sense, right? Okay,
Yes.
Saberlight's dead.
Well said, Cinderin, as we see Saberlight die while you're talking. But absolutely nothing. Your specialty.
A little bit of a lag.
Appreciate
there.
that as always.
That was not a nothing.
Yeah, a
You're
little
just
bit.
not listening.
No, I understood what you're saying, and I agree.
It's-
I finally agree with you, Cinder. It took years, but we did it.
We got there. All my life has led up to
BKB
this
is
moment.
online for Yawar. At what point does he become more of a threat? Because he's going for, it looks like the Dragon Lance, but that's not really going to be enough, I don't think. Scotty is the big one, probably. And Quinn's still working on his recipe for BKB.
This is why this is so tricky for me, because I'm not identifying a specific moment right now for Quincy where they just eat this TA
Yeah.
alive, right?
Oh boy, Bryle jumps in and gets one Infernal Blade that looked really cool because of that awesome cosmetic.
Is he going to
Quinn?
re-go here?
He is so slow. My goodness, the trap on top of all that. But here comes Kezu with the Ravage. And you can see the Mortimer's Kisses from afar. It's not going to save their poor mid laner. Bryle takes an immediate tumble. Now Kezu heading the front line now. Aegis still online for the TA, of course. Tomato. 3 minutes to spare. There's a big arena onto 4 heroes. Quinn actually going back to base. He'll be X-marking back very shortly. But you can see Quincy still winning this fight. Tomato. Looks like that's going to be the Aegis. still with his tier 1 tower. Quincy crew, let's see how aggressive they want to continue to be. Fire Blast did connect as Tomato. BKB runs away. That's never what you want to see. And you can see the boat coming in now that is going to connect as well. Moon Meander likely to fall. And Quincy crew somehow just destroying this fight. Started out with an immediate kill onto
That was
Doom.
such a big punish onto Bryle. Got a little bit overconfident walking in with no vision at all. He could see Quinn, but obviously if he can see Quinn, they can see him. And Keza with the blink, instant Ravage right on top of him. No time to react on the BKB. Takes him out. And as soon as the Doom is down and the Snapfire ult has been expended, Quincy have so much momentum in this fight. Keep in mind, Mars isn't able to connect until now. He finally arrives at the fight. So it was also just a flat-out 5v4 to begin with. And that's a big punish. They get 4 kills in a tower. And now we're kind of back to square one.
We are, but keep in mind, Bryle has not hit his apex, Cinder, and he still has not eaten a freaking centaur. It's still this satyr, for God's sake. Come on. You can do it. You can't find any of them. Look at, there's no centaur. Wait, there's a centaur there. But now it's on cooldown. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Can they keep this centaur alive? Will they protect the centaur at all costs, Cinderin? Probably
I don't
not.
think so.
Maybe he doesn't want... Is that possible that he doesn't want...
Oh, nice try on the spare there, Saberlight. He could arena here to force time lapse, but that's not a very good trade.
He's stuck in the tree line. Oh, all right. Dodges the rebuke. Gets dusted, though. He's going to be very slow once he's out of it. Pops the drums on top, and there is the arena. Took a long-ass time, but they did find him in the end. Hey, they left the Centaur alive, Cinderin. It's at very low HP. Bryle. All right, 7 seconds. Come on. And he's just going to kill it. Wait. I don't understand
does he
what
want
I'm
ice armor? If he eats the ice armor, I'm feeling it. Does he? Why does he want to keep this?
Oh, there's another Centaur. Below you.
Broke smoke?
Enemies are there. It's okay. It's worth it. Blink in and eat that Centaur. He's doing it. All right, he's online, ladies and gentlemen. Bryle can stun people now. Tomato, though. Yeah, he has to force out his BKB. Quincy Crew's going to be relatively happy with that.
Yep.
See if they can chase any further. Nyx Assassin. All right, he gets a nice spike carapace onto Dubu. Kezu jumps in with that gush, and Dubu's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Or whatever the hell he's riding. That's
no way he gets out here, right?
He's living.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
He just got out.
I just assumed.
Yeah, I thought Luna was going to get a beam connection there, but guess not. Swarm onto Saberlight.
Not the biggest kill regardless, but yep, net worth wise, very even game now.
And what do you think about that since one team has Doom?
That's a good question you bring up. I'll quote the great Cinderin and say, I really like where Undying is in your position right now, guys. I think that's pretty accurate.
So what have they done? They've used
team
2 BKB charges on TA, and they've used
in
1
defensive
BKB charge
measures.
Right. So I think every BKB charge used is really important in this game, and honestly, it might not sound like a lot for it to go down from that like 9 to 7, but it is enormous for Quincy, because that means as long as they weather the storm against the TA BKB, when it runs out, they can kill her. No problem. Ogre is in a very
Saberlight
precarious
forced to blink out defensively again. Dubu already low HP. Kezu has the blink Ravage available. There we go! It's a big one too with Yawar's Eclipse to follow it up. They're gonna get 3 kills right off the bat. Triple kill for Yawar. He gets all of them. BKB TP again. So everything feels super defensive from Undying. They're the ones getting jumped every single time.
Yeah, they seem to not be able to get the first go, and you know that's what they want to use their BKBs for. They want to see a moment of opportunity, just blink in Doom with BKB on and get the fight. The smokes break each other here, but look where their heroes are. Doom is far off to the northwest, and TA is far off to the west. They're just not together. So when this smoke breaks, they can't use it for anything because they're not in position on the heroes that are meant to kill, and that way you're just forfeiting everyone else. It's just a positioning error, really, from Undying here to get caught off like that. If you want to break a smoke, you send in 1 hero to do it. If you want to take the fight, you take in all heroes to do it. But they went like half and half, and it ends up costing them 3 heroes. And Tomato and Bryle can't do anything there, realistically. If they do engage, I think it's even worse, because they're just too late. So Quincy with a really big win out of that. And I think now we're going to look at the next Roche to be the next big objective. we're looking at an early respawn time in 1 minute. Obviously, Undying should be favored to grab this in theory by having slightly better map positioning and great Roche killing team. And also, hopefully for them, if they have good vision and they see Tide, they just need to not get ravaged, right? If they can blink Doom the Tide, it feels like the fight for Undying will honestly, I'm not going to say it will play itself, but it'll feel relatively easy, I think.
Quincy crew are going to smoke up despite not having Ravage for another 50 seconds. Scotty online for Yawar. That is a big, juicy one, if I do say so myself.
You don't have Eclipse either. This is
has the
bold.
double damage in his bottle. Saberlight in the trees, ready to counteract this potential initiation from Quincy crew. Oh, they're jumping. Massive BKBs. You can see the Doom applied to Quinn, and Yawar pops his BKB as well, and looks like Quincy crew are just going to run away. Milan, time lapse is back. You can see the right clicks from Yawar doing quite a bit. And defensive on both sides. This is such an important game. I feel like that's a lot of the reason that we're seeing these very passive, like half-measured initiations come through, Cinderin.
Yeah, and I think, again, the winners here are Quincy, right? You didn't have Ravage, you didn't have Eclipse, and you still lost nobody in this fight, and Doom was used. So if they are lucky and Roche spawns really soon, which it doesn't, but if they were, they could actually go for a Roche fight right now, or rather when their BKBs are available again in 30 seconds. Since that's not the case, I still think you look to take initiative, though. Doom being down is so crucial. It gives Kezu a lot of safety. Yeah. It's the only way they prevent him from ravaging in this game is Doom. There's no strong silence that doesn't deal damage. I mean, they can try to like perfectly stun time or whatever, but realistically speaking, it will go off. So Quincy in a good spot. Quinn's gonna get rid of that wave easily bottom and probably connect back up with his team. No, he's super toast.
He is very dead. Gets off a Fire Blast and an Ignite and says goodbye.
Fishing for information up here with, obviously has placed a ward and is trying to get more information than that.
And fortunate timing for Undying that Roche will not be up for another minute. That's going to align pretty much perfectly with Doom coming off cooldown again.
For sure.
And yeah, they have, other than Ravage and Boat, I would say Undying definitely have the Roche advantage. They have the vision in there, although it's been dewarded now from Ponlo. But, I mean, with Arena, with Mortimer's Kisses from afar, as long as you don't get... I mean, Spike Carapace is going to be... The panel talked about that. Pretty massive counter to any Snapfire shenanigans from afar.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also something that Tomato needs to be a little bit aware of, right? You can get Sideblade, Carapace stunned if you don't have BKB running. And again, most importantly, when the BKBs are down, you're just so susceptible. So I still kind of stand by what I said earlier, that I like Undying going late. But these last 5 minutes leave me questioning whether they really have what it takes because of how much of their advantage they lost. If this game would have just continued the trajectory that it looked like it was going to, you could have imagined Undying sitting on like a 5 to 10k net worth lead right now, getting those key items and getting one Roche and then looking fearsome, but now...
Oh boy, they are going for Roche now that it's up, and they're scanning the high ground to make sure that Undying are not up to anything.
Oh my god.
And this is super fast.
What the hell?
Aegis and Shard both will go to Luna. So Yawar is going to get that nice little Lucent Beam upgrade.
Wait, how did they kill it that
buys
fast?
them even more time.
So they have Gush, Swarm, Solar, Kunkka AC. Okay, it adds up. It checks out. Yep. No bugs there, except the Swarm.
True, the literal bug.
Thank you.
But yeah, Quinn picking up the AC like you said, that's a very recent one.
On low. And oh, this is good info. This is really good info. Double stun.
Oh, double impale, no following. 4 steps broad the other side. He has the BKB. Shiva's blink away. And again, defensive BKBs over and over for Undying.
He kind of got cold feet. I think if he would have waited 2 more seconds on Nyx, he was probably worried that they were going to catch that he was onto something there. But if he could have waited a little bit longer, that could have been a double kill. His teammates needed another 3 seconds to connect with a Ravage, and those 2 heroes get exploded by Luna. But still, it's still a win. Forces Tide, Doom BKB. They back out. Doom's BKB now down to 6 seconds.
Very sexy Force Staff. I love the offensive Force Staff usages.
Always fun. But nothing to connect on it that time around, unfortunately.
Oh, I mean, BKB, that's almost a hero kill, Cinderin. That's like 0.25 hero kills.
0.25 is almost 1.
is under attack.
In America, we round up 3 times. Ponlo scouting out Tomato.
So
Quinn
3 hero
is
kills.
in the vicinity as well. Here comes the boat. This looks to be a potential. Oh, Tomato again. BKB. No way to cancel it. Again, defensive every single time.
Yeah, opting to...
Now, what is that down to?
Wonder why he TP'd out instead of
6
Psionic Projection. Maybe he didn't have mana anymore, but... he's back into the Ancient area, of course. Oh, another defensive...
Didn't really
you
mention
know
it.
what?
Okay, you are.
What's the last offensive BKB we've seen? From Undying?
I don't think
I think
there has
that's
been.
7 in a row to run away.
Yeah.
They are all I mean, are they both down to 6? Dooms is down to 6. TA's is down to 6, and Mars is down to 8. So that was his
That would
first.
be higher.
That was his first usage, but again, just no value out of it. And Quincy are controlling the map very well.
Well, to be fair, Yawar did use his as well, down to 6 seconds for him.
That's true. But he has Aegis.
But
so
they have Aegis.
Yep, he has Aegis.
2.5 minutes with that. Bryle looking for a potential initiation, but they're going to be without a couple BKBs.
Bottom tower is under attack.
The map is so small for Undying right now. Tomato is going to try to push out side lanes with Psionic Projection, but the rest of his team are terrified with BKBs on cooldown, without Aegis. So at the very least, Quincy right now should be using this Aegis to gain more momentum in terms of gold advantage, and also this mid-tier 2 tower will be very free. Gonna grab that easily.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
5k gold up.
Only
This
one
is,
outer tower.
It's starting to be a
remaining.
significant lead at this point. When you're against Doom in this game, 5k up 30 minutes, you got both Roches? No, wait, you only got this Roche, right? First Roche was on TA?
This is second row. Oh, you mean who got the first one?
Yeah,
First
the
one
first-
went to Undying.
Yeah. Who got the shard on this one? Did they give it to Weaver?
Yawar.
Yawar didn't buy his own, so he even got to bypass buying that. That's such a big buff for
Yeah.
him.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's a shard you almost always buy on Luna. Like, she will sometimes get it from Roche, but oftentimes she buys it herself.
Oh, Undying want to defend this. This be a big hold. Again, a minute left on the Aegis, so not sure how much they actually want to commit. And looks like they are just going to back up.
Yawar with
Instead of
Lincolns.
BKB TPing, they're just going to walk away the old-fashioned way, Cinder.
This is a very defensive item build on Luna, right? BKB, Scotty, and Lincolns. But probably feels like they have enough damage in the tank with Kunkka with AC, with the Weaver bugs, and he's right. Like, he's still dealing massive
Meander
damage.
from afar. Man, Yawar is just killing these supports
okay.
so far away.
Hello?
Double kill. Undying are just so... They just can't make a decision on whether to initiate or not. It's going to cost them a buyback now.
What's going on? They
To the high
seem a
ground,
little bit
Quincy
long.
crew go.
Top tower.
They get the
This is
tower, and
not
here
good.
is where the Moonglaives start to really shine. Dubu has to be careful. This will be a dieback. And they might just need to give this up. Although they do have buyback onto Snapfire right now. They're just going to give up this Rax entirely. Really respecting this Aegis with 20 seconds left. This is where Quincy crew will likely get out.
The timing on that. This is where Quincy crew will likely XD. And they did. They did XD. Good call, Shannon.
Undying, they went to TI. A lot of these players have, I would say, good experience now. Obviously, they didn't go to any majors last year. I feel like they're playing very scared this game. Would you agree with that assessment?
I would agree with that after the 15-20 minute mark where they were doing great. And then they had one mistake with Bryle overstepping. And they've gone very quiet since that point. And I don't think they had to. I think they were in a good enough position to keep looking for fights. But every move, it feels like when they're trying to engage, they end up caught in some awkward spot, mainly from Weavers and Nyx's scouting, and then they have to disengage. So in a way, kind of similar to last game with the Beastmaster and Nyx, right?
This will be a huge fight. We got Refresher on both Tide and Doom. Yawar has no buyback either, by the way. Dubu's... Oh, Quinn pops the BKB.
Well, you're going to get Ogre for that.
Looks like they're looking for Dubu. And they'll find him for free. And that is essentially a dieback. The jump in, though, there is the Doom onto Quinn. They're going to be able to blow him up in the midst of the arena. Meanwhile, Yawar trying to create as much space as possible.
Where's TA?
Getting coverage with the Ravage. That's #1 down. Bryle pops his Refresher, gets it off onto Kedzo in the meantime. Cooking onto the high ground. Bryle will live for now, but no. Moonmeander trying to take off that. The Swarm will do so successfully. And somehow only 2 people have died here. Make it 3. That's a caster curse right there. Kezu still has another Ravage to work with. Moonmeander gonna get gone on by Kezu, and that's a lot of minus armor to work with. And Yawar getting yet another kill to his name.
Wait,
And Tomato in the base.
Did they
Didn't see him during the fight at all.
did they use 2 Dooms?
They're gonna see him. He's trying to get out. Oh, he's gonna get blown up in time. Double kill for Yawar, and there's the Ravage. Are you serious? Undying absolutely crumbling in this last 20 minutes.
I'm speechless. They dropped 2 Dooms, and TA was never hitting a hero, I think. That looked so disconnected.
I would have to watch the
Like,
replay. And
I don't know
what
whose
doing
fault
there.
that is. Like, I'm not here to point fingers or anything. I'm just gonna say that was so disconnected as a team in that fight. They were not on the same page at all about what they were trying to do. Bryle hard committed, got the Doom onto Kunkka, they arena'd, they refreshed, and Doom tied. And in the entire time, TA was standing in the middle river and wasn't connecting. So either one player in the team is like calling back, bad fight, don't go, and the other one's like, go, 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 we're using everything. Or they were just totally not understanding where the fight was taking place to begin with, and TA couldn't connect. Like,
It feels. We don't know anything about what they're saying, but it feels like they're playing mega tilted. And that's going to cost them mega creeps and likely the game.
Okay, so this Undying team impressed at TI, right? A lot of people thought they were going to get dead last and not look good. They almost got to the upper bracket. They still had a very good showing there. This, to me, is just... This is a team that's 4-0 in the DPC here as well. I don't even know if they've lost a game before this series.
They have not.
In NA, and they just look so out of it. I haven't seen Undying play like this. Like, okay, so look at this fight now. Look, TA is all the way top left. You see it on the minimap, right? She's going to TP down to the outpost with Psionic Projection, and Bryle's going in. Right now, he should just be able to jump in with a trap, right? Oh, he's getting chain stunned by Nyx off screen. So first he was getting held out by Ponlo there, and now he can then re-engage after the second Doom. Okay, so Ponlo was holding Tomato away for like, I want to say 3 or 4 seconds there. I guess he could have only stunned him, right? Tomato didn't damage him with a trap, I think, so it wasn't Carapace as well. And then when he connected to the fight, maybe it was too late. So, I mean, either way, right? The fight begins and they cast all their spells while TA is in the top lane with no trap to connect with. So you're essentially engaging 4v5. And he did have the trap all the way down at the outpost, but I think Ponlo identified that with their ward and just went down there to slow the TA down, so really heads-up play from him as well. And Tomato just connects way too late. Obviously, as part of his build, carry TA often doesn't buy Blink Dagger because you just use the Psionic Projection, right? So when he connects there on the trap, he needs to get down another trap, but he was too far to ever get there in time.
Quincy
That's
crew.
game deciding.
Yep, absolutely. And they just want to end it right here. They have the Aegis, they have Refresher Shard on Kunkka, I do believe. You can see the Mortimer's Kiss is being canceled by Ponlo again. Yawar just going to continue to hit the buildings. Kezu jumps in with the first Ravage. That's going to be a freebie onto Mars. Has the buyback available, though. Tomato still in the back line. This is going to be the tier 4 towers already dead. Ancient completely exposed. Saberlight gets an arena off. That's not really going to do that much. It's Quinn just continuing to hit the buildings now. Saberlight, this will be a dieback if he goes down. Yawar putting himself in a pretty good position to be able to hit multiple heroes and the buildings. And this is going to be it. Looks like Quincy crew are very likely going to go to the major as a result of this victory. A 2-1, very weird game 3